Well, hello and welcome everyone to our DevOps Agile Skills Association DevOps product launch webinar. We are so pleased that you could join us today. So my name is Deborah Burton and I'm the Managing Director of DASA, and I will be your host and moderator for today's webinar. I am pleased to be joined by Arjen Wortman and Niels Loder. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
You're more than welcome, Deborah. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Great.
So would each of you take a moment to introduce yourself to our audience? Arjen, why don't you go first?
Sure. So my name is Arjen Boertman. I've been involved with DASA since 2016 and helped to really get the initiative started. And now my role is that I'm the head of the editorial board in DASA, and therefore also responsible for creating and designing the certification program.
Great. Thank you, Arjen. Niels?
Yeah, I'm a member of the editorial board that Arjen was just referring to. And I'm also a member of the original development team that put together the competence framework and that put together the first fundamental certification.
Great. Well, thank you both for being here today. What I'd like to do is take a moment to introduce the DevOps Agile Skills Association for those of you that might be joining us that are hearing about us for the first time. Well, the DevOps Agile Skills Association was founded in 2016, and we provide an open, global, members-driven community for DevOps and Agile skills development. We are organized as a community-driven platform open to participating member organizations to help develop DevOps competencies within teams and organizations. And we provide a certification scheme, professional exams, and a set of tools that provide for thought leadership to support organizations as they strive to build high-performing teams. So that's a little bit about DASA. So why don't we get started? I'd like to start with you, Niels. For both of you gentlemen, the audience is very keen to understand about the exciting news of the new DASA DevOps Product Owner course and the changes and new additions. So Niels, can you tell us what you're seeing in the market in terms of how digital business models are changing the IT landscape?
Yeah, so taking a broad view of this, what you basically see is around 10 years ago, there's this explosion in the use of IT products and services, particularly through the smartphones that have come up, and everybody has computers with them now. Everybody has apps. Everybody has things that they can do just at the touch of a button whenever they want to. And this is causing a huge diversity in the demand for value in IT services. We all expect these IT services to be updated more quickly, and if we have ideas, we'll post them, and we expect people to develop them, but we also expect these things to work every second of the day. And this requires fundamental agility in the development, the delivery, and operation of IT services. And if we then take one step further and say, well, look, which businesses in the world are actually using IT services? Well, the answer is pretty much every single one. So this agility in IT is actually causing businesses, industries all around the world to transform to more agility. You're seeing it in the financial industry, you're seeing it in production, you're seeing it everywhere, that fundamentally we're looking to change the way we deliver IT services, use IT services, and have that more integrated in the business.
So what does that mean for the way that teams are looking?
Yeah, there was a long time we've been able to work with particularly IT organizations that have been siloed, where we've had testers in one room, we've had developers in another room, and we've brought them together on project basis. But in the new world, we need to move more quickly. We need to move, we need to have the people concerned with a particular product or service in the room together, or at least working together as a team. And this may be across the globe. That's not a problem really. So what happens is that the people working together start to understand that they need to have overlaps in the knowledge that they have. They need to have similar skills, and they are different to how it was previously. Previously, we had a lot of coordination. We had a whole bunch of managers ensuring that people were working together, loads of project managers, and now we're saying, well, if we bring people together in the right way and we give them the right knowledge and skills, well, then they can do a lot more quickly together with less time lost, wasted in coordination.
And that's one of the strengths of DASA, isn't it? That we built a competence model that looks at the 8 knowledge areas that people need in the 4 skills areas so that they can do more than one thing and work effectively as a multi-skilled team.
Exactly.
So I'd also like to talk to you about what those teams look like. How is it put together?
Yeah, so this goes back to really when we put together the competence framework. We started off by looking at what knowledge areas that we need, and the skill areas that you referred to, the 8 knowledge and 4 skill areas, and we started looking then fundamentally at what kind of people work within IT, and we see there's obviously a large contingent of people who actually build and operate stuff. And these are the people who will pretty much find their role in the create and deliver profile. This is about programming, it's about infrastructure, it's about ensuring that everything works properly. But we also see there's a group of people who help those create and deliver people to build the right stuff. So they're interacting with the customer to really understand what's the business value that we're looking for. Can we deconstruct that into the real core of the value so that we know what to build first? How do we design the way we're going to test it? These kind of aspects, things like understanding the architecture of the product or service that we're putting together. So these are really the core profiles. Then we also need people who help that team to function properly. And these are the enable and scale people who, and probably we need less of those than we need of specify and verify and create and deliver. But we need those people to ensure that that the teams can function properly, that they can help the team to work with the skill areas that they need to work with. And on top of that, we then need to ensure that we have that key link with the business. The business needs to be present in our DevOps team in the form of the product owner. Okay? And they are responsible for making sure that those choices in terms of value delivery are made on a daily basis.
So in addition to the DASA DevOps Product Owner Certification, which is one of the new leadership certifications, can you tell us about the others?
Yeah, one of the things is that DevOps is this ground up thing. It's a bottom up development of teams being created, and what we're finding is that leaders who are used to the traditional organizations are having difficulties finding their way in how they should facilitate these teams properly. And this is what we're trying to do with the leader certification, is to really give both business people and IT people the confidence that the way to run the organization will work as well. You will cover all the aspects that you covered in the past. You will know how to monitor the team, monitor delivery, these kind of aspects, so you can be confident about leading these teams. The coach certification is all about having people who have deep knowledge in what's happening in a DevOps environment and can help both the team and the leaders to act in the right way. Because it's difficult, you know, you need discipline and you need help to make sure that you continue to do the things in the new way.
Right. Great. Thank you for that. Aryan, I have a couple questions for you. Can you share with us the the DASA DevOps certification scheme and what that looks like in relation to the new additions and changes?
Sure. So Niels did a great job in explaining the different profiles that we identify. So those are profiles inside a team, those are profiles inside the organization, and profiles that support both the teams as well as the organization. So what we've done is we've created a certification scheme that really tries to provide the relevant knowledge and capabilities to those individuals in those profiles and make sure that we have a certification program relevant for them. The DASA DevOps certification program comprises of 3 levels, a foundational level, a professional level, and a leadership level. The foundational level at the bottom is about knowing. So it's typically a starting point for those starting into a DevOps journey. And it really provides understanding of what is DevOps, what does DevOps mean, what are the key principles, what is DASA's approach to DevOps, and how actually do you apply DevOps in the context of that individual or in the context of that organization. We have one program at the foundational level at the moment, and that's the DASA DevOps Fundamental Certification. Then the second level is what we call the professional level. So the professional level certifications, there are 3 of them, are about really building the practical capabilities that the individuals in the team need in order to do their job properly. And when I'm referring to practical capabilities, if you take an analogy, for example, in building a house, then we're teaching people on when to use a hammer and when to use a saw, and what is the process, what are the steps required to actually develop the house. So it's really practical and designed to make people really provide the relevant things that they can perform the capabilities in the real world. We have 3 professional level certifications: specify and verify, enable and scale, create and deliver, for each of the profiles that Niels just explained very well. There's a 3rd level as well, which is new, which is what we call the leadership level. And whereas in the professional level, we really teach people to understand when to use a hammer and when to use a saw, for example, the leadership level is about how to really navigate within the organization, how to make sure that if there are any roadblocks that they are being removed, how to make sure that somebody, for example, in a product owner position, is able to prioritize and maximize business value. So this is much more about abilities than it's about building capabilities. And the 3 certifications reflect that. The product owner is about making sure that that person in that position is able to really maximize business value, leveraging all of the capabilities that were learned, for example, in the professional level, specify and verify. So it's a logical extension there. The leader within the organization this is all about creating scale for the organization and ensure that the teams can scale. Any barriers that are there are being removed. And the coach is a person, as Niels explained, has a deep knowledge and deep understanding of the process and is there to really remove any roadblocks or barriers and really help people to become professional in the roles that they have. So those are the 3 levels that we have and the certifications that we offer in those levels. And that's a bit of a change, Deborah, from what we had in the past.
Yes.
So if you remember the previous model, then there was a DASA DevOps practitioner level, and there were 3 specializations. And the specializations have the same names as what we now call the professional level certifications. Because what we realized is that actually when engaging with this model in practice, the specializations were positioned a bit too high. They needed to become much more practical. And at the same time, the practitioner was not resonating very well because people were expecting the practitioner to be a bit more technical. And by now, combining that at the professional level, we're both providing the technical capabilities in the form of the Create and Deliver program, as well as the capabilities to really engage in a team and build the the skill areas in the form of the enable and skill professional level. So that's a bit of a change, and we believe that this is for the positive, and we really look forward to seeing these programs work effectively in the market.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we're really excited about this new leadership level, because when we see people in leadership positions that are looking at bringing together whole enterprise level programs, providing these type of certifications becomes really important, because we pull them in to not only the skills and knowledge area, but help them develop the type of skills that they need to be successful. So we're really excited about that. So Niels, why did DASA decide to introduce a DASA DevOps product owner?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, because and to answer it, we need to go back to the beginning. Why did we start DASA in the first place? We started DASA because we felt that the information, the competencies, the whole view on DevOps was not really clear. And as DASA, we wanted to create certifications that did not exist in the market at the time. Okay, so we only want to fill gaps that we see as existing in the market. And in fact, what we're seeing is that there is a gap in the world of product owners. What we see is there are a lot of traditional product owners who are used to being product owners for development teams, and some of them that we've seen have been put into DevOps teams, and they've caused all manner of problems because they've focused too much on just that improving the functionality of the product. So what we've worked with a lot of product owners to help them to make that transition towards being a product owner for a DevOps team. What does that mean? It means that they've needed to learn how to balance the importance of operating a system, operating a product or service, and making sure that the customer's thoughts around that part of the service are integrated into the whole development. Rather than just saying, okay, what new stuff do you need? We also need to look at things like technical debt. Product owners have been created for existing products and services, and these have been managed in a way that have caused a lot of technical debt. And the product owners of these services are faced with a situation where they have to make sure that this gets removed, so that the product extends its life cycle and make sure that the users can continue to use it.
Great. Well, what are the characteristics of a typical DASA DevOps product owner?
Yeah, so the key thing, and the first thing above all, is understanding the business. It's about the key knowledge area here is business value optimization. So understanding the business, understanding how business values particular aspects of that IT service. The next step is to know, well, okay, how do I translate that value into aspects of the service that need to be adjusted, improved? So you need to have some business analysis skills there. Understanding the software lifecycle, development lifecycle is important, and understanding the role of operations in there is important. Another aspect is having a broad understanding of the architecture of the service. Is something that a product owner needs to make sure they can understand the choices that need to be made. So these are things that we're looking for. In essence, as Ian already said, this is a leadership level program. So we're looking to develop leadership skills in these in product owners, and they need to have what we talk about in the skills. They need to have the courage to experiment. They need to have the courage to make those choices towards the team and explain them to the business.
Absolutely. So what is the scope of the DASA DevOps certification program, product owner certification?
Yeah, so the people we're focusing on, let's start with those. The people we're focusing in on are people who are new to the role of product owner. They're people who are in a DevOps environment or are moving towards a DevOps environment and need to be prepared for that. Also, we will obviously be pleased to help people who are used to working with a development team, being a product owner for a development team, helping them to transition to a DevOps style product, or a product owner in a DevOps style organization. So that's really what we're looking for. So a lot of the aspects of the certification are similar to what you would find in a traditional product owner certification. Only the emphasis is different, and the time we spend on ensuring that people really understand that entire life cycle management role is more than what happens in traditional PO trainings.
Great. Well, thank you for that. What I'd like to do now is, Arjen, go to you, and can you, Niels explained and shared the profile of the DASA DevOps product owner. Can you take us through some possible career paths that are available for a product owner?
Sure. And you can find an example here on the screen of a typical career path. And again, I mean, there are many career paths. People go through their careers in their own personal ways, but here's just an example of what it could look like for example, for somebody coming from the business side. So we're taking the example here of Katja. She has a couple of years of work experience as a business analyst, has a business analyst certification and also a project management certification behind her belt, and is now joining a DevOps team. So the first thing that Katja does the moment that she joins the DevOps team is she participates in a DASA DevOps Fundamentals program. So Katja likes live instruction, so she joins a classroom-based course, but she could have also chosen to take a e-learning or video-based program to really understand the basic terminology of DevOps, to understand the principles, and to really understand what DevOps means in the context of her organization. So in that program, I mean, she really masters all of the key capabilities and understands really what is involved with DevOps. The next thing that is relevant for her then is to move on and to participate in one of the professional level certifications. In this case, the Specify and Verify profile is most relevant to her, given also her background and where she comes from. So in the DASA DevOps professional certification, she really understands what it takes to create user stories, to understand what architecture means for an organization, to design test specifications, basically all of the key capabilities she needs to have in order for her to do her job well. And when she feels comfortable, when she is ready to move on and take on really the role of the product owner, that's when she benefits from all of that experience that is behind her belt and all of the capabilities that she masters, and now understand what it takes for her to maximize business value for her organization. She understands when to deploy specific capabilities, when to prioritize specific user stories, and how to ensure that whatever she does, it results in maximum value for her organization. So this could be that she's taking that program within a year after she's done the professional level certification. It could also be that it takes her a bit more time to get to that level.
Okay, great. And what about the example of a product owner? What's their career path look like?
So here's another example. I mean, this is Tom. Tom has been working in a more dev environment, so he's very familiar with software development, the Scrum process, has been working in a Scrum team for a couple of years. And the future for that team is that the team will take on ops responsibilities also and become a true DevOps team. But it will take some time. So the first thing Tom does is before he gets there is that he doesn't necessarily look at product owner certification, but he first looks at building his capabilities in the areas where he's not performing very well yet. So problem solving is one of the challenging areas for him, and therefore he looks at a specialization program like here the Kepner and Furi problem solving for DevOps teams. That helps him to really master his creative problem solving skills better. Then after a while, when the team is really taking on also the DevOps responsibilities, he participates in the product owner program. There is some repetition for him. I mean, because again, it covers the software development lifecycle. And he sees it as a refresher though, something new for him, something to just keep him fresh again. But his focus when participating in that program really is about understanding how his role is changing, what is expected from him moving forward, what are his additional responsibilities that are there for him, and what type of stakeholders does he now need to manage in the future. Sometime later, I mean, Tom really has leadership potential. Tom is asked to take on also a leadership position and not just help the team, but really to help the organization scale and further benefit from the DevOps initiatives. And that's when Tom participates in the DASA DevOps Leader Program. So that will really help him develop the leadership skills that he needs in order to help his organization become successful.
Well, that's great. And Arjen, before I move on, can you share with the audience why both you and Niels, the content team, are really so exciting about this new positioning and certifications that we're offering in the market?
I think what we're trying to explain, or what we're trying to do here is with DASA, and Niels explained it very well. He says DASA is not here to do what everybody else is doing already. We're really trying to identify where are the gaps in the market. So what can we do? What thought leadership can we develop to help organization excel and become high performing teams? And one of the things we're realizing is that there's no program in the market today yet that is really covering the expanded scope of the product owner. And that means that the product owners out there are crying for help. And we're addressing that gap with this beautiful new certification program. And that's why also I'm very proud that we're able to take this to market today.
And Niels, any comment on your side?
Yeah, I'm very excited about our whole new, not just the product owner, but the whole construct that we have now, because I feel that we're providing something that that's consistent. It's based on a solid foundation that is the competence framework that provides consistency across organizations. And it allows us to help a large number of people who are transitioning into an area that we're all learning about, and we're developing along the way. But we feel that we now have something that will provide a certification scheme for pretty much everybody in the organization. And I'm very excited about it. I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, well, you know, we are too. I think that's one of the things that we love about DASA, the fact that we are a members-driven organization. And as we grow and change, we get the input from our members and we adjust and we provide those solutions that keep us relevant in the market. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for joining me today. I would like to just take a few minutes to ask a few questions that are coming in. So for those of you who have questions, please send them now. And I do have one already that's in the queue. When is this available in the market? Arjen?
It's available now. So we're releasing this program today, and it means that the program is available now. That means that you can download the mock exam and syllabus from the DASA website and really build an understanding of the program. DASA works with courseware partners who develop courseware for these programs. The courseware partners have been informed, and some of them have already developed courseware, so that is available as well today in the market. Training partners can start planning courses as of today as well, and the exam service providers that DASA works with have the exams available also. So this is already there for you to start working on today. You can get certified still this year if you want to.
Well, fantastic. And I do have a question from one of our audience members saying, what's happened to the practitioner certification?
Yeah, good question. So indeed, the practitioner certification is not showing up anymore in the certification scheme. We removed it. Well, actually, we didn't remove it. We actually changed it. So what we did is we renamed it into the professional certification enable and scale. There are many people out there in the market who have taken a certification in the past, practitioner certification, and we're going to take the coming months to basically issue a new certificate to all of those individuals and provide them the professional certification enable and scale. So that change is there, and I hope I explained it thoroughly in terms of why we're doing that.
Yeah, fantastic. And just one last question that's coming in, and that is, it seems that we have a lot of languages that are offered. When can we expect product owner to be available in other languages?
A good question also. DASA really supports multiple languages in the market because, I mean, we realize that that people like to take their exam preferably in their local language. And for that reason also, the fundamentals program is available already in 9 languages, and we're releasing new languages all the time. And the same will apply for the product owner certification. So we're going to start with English, but if there is sufficient demand out there and if the community is willing to support us also in the translation effort, then we are looking forward to releasing new languages quickly.
Great. Well, we're out of time now, but let me take the opportunity to thank you, Niels and Arjen, for joining me today. I think we have provided the people that have joined us a really good insight of the roadmap for what we're doing within DASA. So thank you both for being here today with us.
You're more than welcome,
Yeah,
Deborah. Happy
my
to be
pleasure.
here.
And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us today for this webinar. As you can tell, we're super excited about it. If you do find yourself with some questions, please just drop it at info@devopsagileskills.org, and we'll be happy to come back to you. So with that, I'd like to thank you again, and I wish you all a great day. Bye for now.